Hi, I'm Katie Goulet, and I'm a website designer, and I want to talk to you today about how you know it's time to update your website. I know, as a business owner myself, my website is my greatest asset and also a giant time and money suck from my business. But if your website is formatted well and working for you, it'll help grow your business quicker, faster, and make a great first impression. So I have 5 ways that you'll know it's time to update your website. So the first way is, does your website just look outdated? You know, in any kind of design, trends ebb and flow over the years. I started designing websites about 5 years ago, and the trend was to have sliders on your front page and have all your features laid out in sliders. But we know, 5 years later, that sliders with calls to action, asking people to click things, don't work. People don't click on sliders. And so we know that now. We didn't know that 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we were like, ooh, something animated and exciting on a front page. Let's put it up. Now we know it actually converts not very well. So if you're going to have a slider on your homepage, we now know it's a great place to feature and have galleries, but don't expect people to click there. Just don't expect it. It's not going to happen. And so that's an example of a trend that has kind of ebbed and flowed over the years. It's going to continue to change. I'm recording this in 2018, and I have no doubt that the design trends are going to change and ebb and flow. I suspect that in the next wave, we're going to see lots and lots of video, because we already do. And almost all of my people that contact me about website creation or redesign ask for a video embedded or placed in their website already. It's just a trend. I know that's where things are going. Also, full width. If your website's not full width and it's more of a boxy layout that harkens to kind of the websites of old, it's probably starting to look outdated. It's telling your customers, hey, I'm not investing in my website and I'm not investing in my business. The second way that you know it's time to update your website is it hard to use? If you're getting emails and questions from potential customers and current clients like, I couldn't find this, or where's this on your website, or how do I, and they're asking questions for things that are on your website, probably means that your website's hard to use and the information's not laid out correctly. Also, speaking of hard to use, if your website was created, this is 2018, so 2013 or earlier, it probably was not created to be something we call mobile responsive. That means, does it look good on a phone? 5 years ago when I began designing websites, mobile responsiveness was not something I talked about much. Now, I talk about it every day. It's one of the first things I have in mind when I'm designing a website. I can't tell you the hundreds of times I tell people, that's a great idea, but it's not going to look good on mobile. It's a great idea, but it's not going to work well on a phone, because we know 30 to 50% of the visitors to your website are on a mobile device, and you want to make sure your website appeals to them too. And so you don't want to lose half your audience. And so you want to make sure your website is easy to use in all the places. Also, if your website's not easy to use, Google says they're not going to show it to people. They don't like websites that are hard to use on phones. And I'm going to put a link below to the Google Mobile Responsive Test, and you can put your website in there and see what Google has to say about your website. The third reason it's time to update your website is your content correct? Sometimes we redesign websites for people that are fine, but it's just incorrect content. Their business has now scaled, so they have multiple branches. They have more employees than before. They're offering different services. They don't have the same customer base as they did before. If your content on your website is not correct, and it's very incorrect, it might be just worth it to just redesign the whole thing rather than going through and trying to just re-engineer what you have. Just a thought. The fourth way that you know it's time to update your website is your business has changed. Kind of harkens to the incorrect content, but has your business changed and grown? I hope for you that in 3 to 5 years, your business changes and grows. Because we're in business and we want, speaking to you as a business owner, everyone wants their business to grow, right? If you have that entrepreneurial spirit, you want to see your business evolve and keep growing. And we know that as your business evolves, your website and your web presence needs to evolve also. Research tells us that about every 2.66 years, you need to update your website. So I like to tell people every 3 to 5 years. And it's my hope that in that 3 to 5 year span, your business grows and prospers and changes so that you need a new website because your business is changing. That's an exciting reason to need a new website. The last reason, the fifth reason why you need to redesign your website is, I've seen it 100 times. People say, this is my website, and then they kind of look at the floor and you see it come upon their face. It's the shame of the website. You don't need to live in website shame, people. I've heard it. They say, this is my website, but don't go there. It's not correct. Or, but I need to redo it. Or, but if you got website shame, you don't need to live in website shame. As a business owner, you deserve to love and promote and leverage your website for all it's worth. Website shame is a key indicator. If you know it, if you know you have website shame, it's a key indicator that it's time to redesign your website. So those are my 5 reasons how you know it's time to redesign your website. You can go to your website and think about these things and say, do any of those 5 things apply to me? Because I know redesigning a website is a major task. It does take time. It does take money. But I also know that as your business grows and your website strikes an amazing first impression for your ideal clients, your investment into your website is going to pay off in dividends. You're going to be so thankful that you did it. Hope you find this helpful. Talk to you soon.